ovaries, and as you know, I am expecting baby number 9 to be exact. um, that's why I've been going, guys. Like I'm actually stepping into my second trimester now. My first trimester was totally different than any pregnancy I've experienced. Talk about sick. I don't know if it's because I'm older or what, but I'm used to having energy, y'all, while I'm pregnant. Anybody that personally knows me can tell you that. But anyhow, so let's talk about some of my experience so far with this pregnancy. Um, First trimester pregnancy was crazy. Or maybe we should start with when and how did I find out? It was in March, guys. So um, I've been knew I was pregnant. I found out in March. I can't remember that day, but in March, two of my children had gotten sick. Nothing serious. It was just like a common bug, stomach bug, and I thought I was sick too. So I just was like, oh my gosh, I'm catching whatever they got. I'm sick. Actually, I was pregnant that last video when I was talking about my son being bullied, and didn't know. At the time, I didn't know. And so I'm like, oh, I'm just sick. Just sick. Um, and so my husband just feel so sick. And he was like, anytime I'm sick, y'all, okay, he always tell me, well, just to make sure, let's just make sure you're not pregnant. So he goes and he gets me a pregnancy test. I'm talking to a sister of mine that I haven't talked to, sister friend of mine that I haven't talked to in forever on the phone. So when he went out to get that, I'm still on the phone just chatting away. And he comes back, gives me the test. I'm in the bathroom taking the test, but still on the phone with my friend, right? She has no clue I'm on the phone, just taking the test. And I'm just chatting away because I'm used to it saying negative. So I'm just like, okay, pee on the stick so that I can show him that I'm not pregnant as always. And I'm chatting away and I look down because you pee on it, you sit off to the side, and I look down and to the side, and I'm like, okay. He ended up getting me digital tests, guys. So the digital test, that the first one I took actually was the one that shows regular, like with the lines. And I'm like, okay, let me take the other test. Take the other test, and it says pregnant. And I'm just like, I tell my friend, I'm like, I'm gonna call you back. Because I was not expecting it. Like, totally was not expecting that. I personally thought I was done, y'all, having babies. I felt like I was tapped out, no more. I was dealing with some terrible fibroids for the past few months. I found out I had fibroids. Any of you guys that have fibroids know that it is very painful to deal with. So I did some natural remedies that actually helped them shrink. But they were pretty large. So the only way to really fully get rid of them, they say, is through a hysterectomy. So the week that I found out actually was due for my appointment to discuss everything for a hysterectomy. And I found out I was pregnant. So as my doctor said, the Lord had other plans for me, um, which was definitely God's plan. Was not expecting this. But I went through a phase of so many emotions, y'all. First time ever experiencing this with being pregnant. I don't know. I think it's because, like I said, I felt like I was capped out, like I was done. And I love my children. Don't get me wrong, I love them. They could be a whole handful, but I love my babies. But I was just like, another one? Like, I thought I was done. I thought I was about to, everybody's growing up, moving out the way, and I don't know. It was just this already had in my mind. I think it was because in my mind I was done. Okay, capped out, done. So I went through like this roller coaster of emotions. Um, The following day after I found out I was pregnant, because it was on a Friday, that Saturday, ended up, like I said, the kids were sick. And I'm going to the hospital with one of them, another one that ended up getting sick. And I said, you know what? Well, since I've been having terrible headaches, let me actually get checked out too while I'm here. Terrible headaches, and I've been experiencing, it felt like a UTI type of symptoms. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead um, and get checked out for that. Of course, when you go, they want to know when your last period. I can't even remember my last period, guys. That's like not me. I can literally like ramble off. It just was a lot going on, as y'all know, the bullying and all things, and I just didn't even pay attention that my period had passed enough. And I'm like, man, I don't even remember when my last period was. So of course they, okay, well, already pregnant, and still gonna take a pregnancy test, blood work, all things, ultrasound. I just came for a UTI check and figure out what my headaches. Okay, so we get the ultrasound, check out. Of course, I was so early on in my pregnancy, just the yolk sac and the baby. So the following day, after we came home from church that night, I was talking to my husband out of nowhere. I like felt this gush of blood. And I'm like, what the crap was that? I mean, this gush. So I go and check, and it's blood. Like, so of course, the first thing is, am I miscarrying? And it was a gush of blood, and it was coming down my leg. So I'm like, what the crap? Okay. So just found out, and I'm miscarrying. Like, it was just so much. So I went to the hospital. My husband took me to the hospital that night, and we sat there for about 4 hours. And then I asked the lady, why is everybody else going before me? Of course, I got all these thoughts in my mind, trying to remain positive, but it was hard too, sitting there for 4 hours. So I'm asking her, she finally get us to the back a little bit after, and the doctor comes in, and he's like, well, you miscarried. And I'm like, how do you know that? Like, I done had so many kids, so I'm like, how do you know that? He's like, I said, I didn't even get an ultrasound. Well, can we get an ultrasound to confirm? He's like, well, you have a semiotic hemorrhage, which I'm very familiar with because I have two other kids that I had it with. And I told him, I said, okay, well, that don't mean that I miscarried. He was like, I'm pretty sure he did. And I was like, and how do you know I got that? He said, well, yesterday when you came in, they seen it, when they on the ultrasound. So nobody even informed me. Like, everybody said everything was okay. So I kept asking for ultrasound just to confirm. He refused to. He said, prepare yourself for this miscarriage tomorrow. You're going to be bleeding, blood clots, passing blood clots, all things. The baby is dead. I'm like, well, can I get an ultrasound to confirm? He just refused to. And he's like, no need to, basically charge your insurance for something we already know. So he was like, just call your doctor, follow up with your doctor for a miscarriage. And he just kept saying 99.9%. I am 99.9% sure that you miscarried. And my husband was like, well, you keep saying 99.9%. At that time, I wanted to say, well, husband, that's because the 1% belongs to God. But the doctor was so nasty and mean that I just kind of just was like, let's just go. So I called my doctor the following day to follow up for what he called a miscarriage. And she's like, what? You just got scheduled your appointment. And she asked me about the ultrasound. I said, no, he refused and all things. So she was like, okay, well, also, oh my gosh, I almost forgot. While we were sitting there, he was showing me my numbers for my, what is it, HCG, for the hormone levels. It's supposed to go up in your blood as you progress in a pregnancy. So he tells me that they did go up when I was there. The guy that was telling me that I miscarried, he said it did go up, but it should have tripled within 48 hours. I said, well, y'all haven't tested me within 24 hours because I just was here not even 24 hours ago, but yet they're rising. That means I'm still pregnant. But anyway, so my doctor the following day, she started scheduling me blood work to go every other day to get my blood work done to see what's going on with my levels, to make sure that they're still climbing. Um, so upon after checking, I want to say we did went 4 times for the blood work. She said my levels were climbing like they're supposed to. So she wanted the ultrasound just to check on the hemorrhage and to check on the baby. So I go in there, get my ultrasound. I feel like it wasn't even less than 24 hours when she called me, and she's just like ecstatic. She's like, Ebony, the baby has a great heartbeat. The baby's well, and I told her, I was like, yeah, the nurse did say something about, or the lady that was doing it said something about the heartbeat was great. So she was like, you are definitely pregnant. We just keep an eye on the hemorrhage. Make sure it is shrinking. It had shrunk since the hospital. It was still there, but it did shrink within that time period. Um, so we just continued on with it. And, so then my doctor, it's just been pretty crazy, guys, because my current doctor that I have, he's no longer doing prenatal at the end of this month. He's done with prenatal. It took me a long time to find this guy. I have my preferences when it comes to birth, before birth, and all things. So I had a hard time finding him. And now he's done with prenatal. So now I have to find a whole nother doctor. And it has been so stressful trying to find another doctor that can relate to me. I like natural things. I don't do medicine. I don't do medicine when I give birth. I don't do C-section, none of those things. And a lot of them are very forceful on that. And I just up and leave because I know my birth plan. This is my ninth child, and I just know what's best for me and my child. So he tells me that he's no longer doing prenatal. So now I'm looking for a doctor. I think I found one. But not only that, he tells me because of my age, I'm high risk. Like my husband's like, oh my gosh, is it like now just high risk for all things now. And my blood work has been going great and everything, but it's still, have this thing in the back of my mind, like, it was just really stressful at the beginning of the first trimester because I was bleeding, guys. Like every now and then, like blood, and I'm not used to bleeding when I'm pregnant. So I just kept thinking all things were going wrong. So it was a stressful first trimester. Once I got past 12 weeks, it was like a breath of fresh air. Like I was like, oh my goodness. But then one day when I was talking to the Lord in the shower, he tells me this is not about the baby. It's about your faith in me. Are you believing every single thing the doctor says? Or will you trust in me? So this is a total faith walk for me, guys. This baby is a total faith walk with me right now because I am tired, y'all. When I say I am tired, I'm tired. And like I said, like this is my first time experiencing all the things they talk about that you experience with pregnancy. Tender breasts and stuff, I didn't have that. But I had it this time, and I'm just like, my boobs hurt. Like, terrible. Like, okay, why is my boobs hurt? I'm like, I'm an experienced pregnant woman. Why am I Googling these things? I should know why, when, will the tenderness ever go away and things. Like, little things. Oh, this is common. And I'm like, common for who? Because clearly not for me. So I'm feeling all the things that they tell you that you will experience in pregnancy. I don't know if it's because of my age or what. But either way, I'm experiencing it. Very fatigued. Like I said, I am so used to having energy and being pregnant with energy. So this is different for me. I try to get as much rest as I possibly can. Bridgerton has been taken over at night. I've been rewatching that, so my goodness. And then another thing, like I have to have ice cold water. I could drink any water anytime, lukewarm, hot water. I don't care as long as it's water. I have to have ice water, or I do not like the taste. I feel like sick. Okay, I was sick off of everything. I think like 5 of these a day. I stay hydrated. Um, but it's been different. As far as telling my family, I did tell one of my sisters right away. I told, but not right away, probably about 2 weeks later. I told right away, of course, my husband. Um, I told my other sister in Christ, like following it, because she understood all my feelings because she has seven of them, and she had her capped out time too. So she understood me. So I had to talk to her. I had to tell her. My cousin was one of the first I told, and then I just kept it on hush. I'm just now telling everybody that I'm pregnant. I did a pregnancy announcement on Facebook. A lot of congratulations. And then I had, of course, the expected, are you done yet? Um, better you than me. It's not, all the nasty things that you get as a pregnant woman. Um, so I actually did a short on that. But either way, we are grateful for our Mother of Joy. If this is something that you would like to watch, you will be now watching my experience through from the second trimester on down. I'll be doing most likely weekly check-ins on how everything going. Um, a mom of 9 preparing for number 9, and just how it's going. Also, I've been dealing with all sports. My kids are finally done spring league basketball. Thank the Lord. So it's been pretty busy around the Newton home. Um, but anyway, if this is something you like to watch, please stay tuned, stay locked in, because I will be giving you guys updates, most likely weekly updates, as we go through this together, okay? Y'all gonna go through this with me together. And like I said, I just entered my second trimester. And I actually just got prenatals. These are the prenatals of my choice that I chose. These are not the kind I usually use, but because of my eating habits and the way I changed my eating more cleaner, um, those were by far the best. They are grass fed, so it has grass fed, grass finished animal organs in it, which is actually good for us. If you know, you know. But either way, stay locked in, guys. Please like, share, and comment if you have any questions or concerns, because I know my people, and I know you're gonna have some things to say. And if you like to see some certain videos, just let me know. The house is coming along great. I still have to give y'all a tour of my lemon kitchen. But I just couldn't wait to tell you guys. Finally get to tell you guys. My kids just found out too, so don't feel bad. Y'all have a great week. Don't forget, guys. Don't be bitter. Don't be mean. Give someone a hug today.